And we are live. Good morning, good morning, good morning, South Florida. And hello, world. I am Robert Henderson Jr., President, founder, CEO of the Henderson Financial Group, located here in Miami Lakes, Florida. We are a full service financial planning firm. We have clients all over the country and out of the country. We've been doing this for 40 years. And joining me here is a living legend, my brother from another mother, all the way. He's out of town. Can't stop James T. The one and only living legend, James T. Thomas. How you doing, my brother?
I'm wonderful, brother. And hey, man, it's just good to be back with you, man. I've been missing you,
Hey,
but in a
we
good way.
yeah, and hey, James, boy, I say, boy, God put us here together. Isn't that something? When you was in your mother's womb, you said, hey, don't worry, another one coming behind you. Y'all gonna do some good things to help and serve the people. God said, I know who to put together to get my message to my people. Isn't that something? Isn't that amazing?
It's amazing and an awesome thing, Rob, man. I want to say, hey, to you and the staff and everybody that's going to be watching us today and listening, whenever and wherever. Hey, man, I'm just Rob. I can't explain it because as God does what only God can do, when we will seek Him first. Man, I was at an event last night, Rob, in Atlanta,
Uh-huh.
representing the company and ourselves. And I went there with my friend Joe Bullard. He's been going through a little thing, but nevertheless, he and I got together and we were the guest of a former president of a major record label. And the gentleman told us, he said, "Man, I want you to be at my table, the two of you." And that was not within itself. But then to see people that I have worked with, say, for, oh man, throughout these 50 plus years of being in the record and the radio business and the service business, Rob, because I think many of us have realized that truly, no matter what work we do, if we are not serving others, then we're not serving our creator. And last night, it was just an awesome night. I give a shout out to the Living Legends Foundation. They had their awards dinner and show. And one of the groups that they honored was Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Man, when you see people who have helped others become great in the business of music, uh, you realize that it's not just the person you see on stage. It's all those people that you don't see, production and writers and producers and managers and so it was I sat there and I said, look at what we do when we plant a seed that produces of itself. So hey man, I give them a shout out and to Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis and all the other awardees last night. It was a great evening in Atlanta and a deserving evening of awarding people who have done so much to help so many others and to serve those communities. Because entertainment, as much as people say we want to enjoy it, it also is a service because one of the young ladies started when Chris Brown was just Chris Brown, and here he has sold out 3 shows in Atlanta.
Wow.
Isn't that something?
Wow. Wow.
I,
No
I
doubt.
remember I remember when we brought Usher to South Florida and took him to all the schools. And a shout out to Ricky Norris because he was a part of my promotion staff. And Ricky would take Usher here, there, everywhere. And his mother just was just nourishing him to become, well, who he is today and what he's done. So, hey, man, we're out here serving. And thank you, brother, for all that you do because we need you to continue to give us that info that helps us to become better and understand money.
Yeah, man. It's all about understanding money. And all you're getting, get what?
Ooh, understanding.
Understanding. Understanding. You got to get
People
understanding,
want
man. Most people
Rob,
don't know that, James.
right. People want to get rich, but they don't know getting rich is with stuff, but getting wealthy, oh, that's another story, Doc.
Matter of fact, that's what my sermon gonna be about today. About building generational wealth.
Come on
building,
with it. I'm listening.
building generational wealth. You know, there is a. I would say like an oxymoron. There is a conflict with the now and the future, generational future. So when you say generational wealth, you're not talking about just right now. You're talking about future. You're saying what's to come, and we know that there will be another day. There will be. I mean, the scripture says, that there will be another day, the future. I mean, if you think about, if you look back and you can look 10 years away, 10 years ago, or 5 years ago, or even 20 years ago, and you can look at where you are right now, man, I tell you, you have to plant a seed. Now, building generational wealth, just building wealth, period. Building wealth, period, takes time. And when I say TIME, that eliminates a lot of people. That eliminates a lot of people. 95% of people say they ain't got no time. Right now, 95% of people say they don't have time to build wealth. They want it right now. They want it right now. That's why they always a day late in the dollar short. I don't care how much money you make. It ain't about how much money you make. It's how much money you keep. It's how much money, because you need the money to plant the seeds. And if you're giving up all your seeds, if you're making $10 million right now, and you spending $10 million right now, you might as well be a Walmart greeter. Because you just passing money around. It's coming to you. You just passing it around. And you always got stuff. You got to pay. The money coming to you. You got car notes. You got 3 cars. You got 3 girlfriends. You got 3 houses. You eating out. You just pass. You just a transit. I mean, you not keeping anything. Just because you making $300,000-$400,000 a year. If you spending $300,000 or $400,000 a year, what's the sense? I mean, what? You bragging about how much money you make now? How much you keeping? How much are you investing? How many seeds are you planting? Because it's all about growth, and that growth and planting and building wealth deals with TIME. The problem that I see as a financial advisor, planner here is people want it now. You don't believe me? Just go to a grocery store or any type of outlet that has the lotto. Those people want it now. They want it now. They're not building. They're trying to hurry up. And let me tell you something. That's a fool's game. I've been doing this 40 years. I'm going to tell you, all of my wealth came in time. Listen, if you don't have a mindset to say, I'm going to do something, I'm going to plant the seeds, I'm going to make some investments. It could be real estate. It could be cash value life insurance. It could be annuities. It could be whatever. But you gotta have a plan for slow growth, time. Because 5 years, 10 years will come by. If you didn't do it, you done lost 5 or 10 years of growth. You can't get that back, man. You can't. And most people who poor or living paycheck to paycheck, or who don't have wealth, they're like a squirrel eating all their nuts. Even a squirrel knows. Y'all hear me use this analogy all the time. Even a squirrel knows you need some nuts to eat, and you got to put some away for later. Because if you plan on staying alive, you're gonna need them. You're gonna need them because you can't keep going out there working hard because your body get tired. You get tired. The supervisor changed. The president changed. All kind of stuff changed. If you don't ate all your nuts when the change happened, what you got to fall back on? That's wealth. You got to have that wealth. Here's a guy, his overhead expenses every month come to $5,000. But guess what? He bringing $6,000 a month. But his mindset says, oh man, I'm bringing in $6,000. My overhead expenses, taxes and everything, paying for my overhead, my shelter, my car, my utilities, everything come to $5,000. Even my child support, it's in there. And I got $1,000 left over. Man, that's my $1,000 to me to have a good time and live. I'm making it. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because that $1,000 that's for you, that's not really for you to celebrate. You got to go do some extra to celebrate. That $1,000 is supposed to be for building wealth. I want to say it again. A lot of people, we haven't been taught this. This is what you have to do. I don't care how much money you're making. If you're making $500,000 a year, a surgeon, a young guy came to me. Somebody referred him to me. He came to my office boasting that, hey, I make $500,000 a year. Okay, let's see what you got. How long you been doing that? He said, I've been working 5 years as a surgeon. I make $500,000 a year. I said, okay, wow. Man, we went over his documents. He ain't have nothing. He had a Porsche. He had a Corvette. He had an Escalade. He had a $4 million house. He had a girlfriend, another girlfriend, and another girlfriend. He was taking care of his mama. He had all this. So really, his $500,000, he was spending $500,000, and he was boasting. So he really ain't have nothing. James, does that make sense?
Rob, I saw something. Well, because I love listening to people when they can share their stories, and we all have them, right? And I won't share mine, but Magic Johnson said when there was an opportunity for him to go with Nike, and he said, "But hey, the 100,000 was coming from another entity, so he passed up Nike." And he said, "Man, you know that the offer that I was given, had I taken that today, it was worth double-digit billions." You know, boom. So 100,000 then kept him from building billions, for now. And what you're saying is, if we are going to not think or stop and think, seek information, have someone help us to say, what should I do, quote unquote, not to be rich, because we can be rich in stuff, but to be wealthy. And how can I work toward generational wealth? Because Rob, after how many beds, how many cars, and what I mean, I'm not knocking people who do it. That's what they want to do, and that's how they want to live. But then in many cases, what we find ourselves doing is we find ourselves putting stress on someone else when we can't provide for ourselves and we have done nothing to build wealth.
Yeah. See, if you making $3 million, even if you spending 2 million, at least save $1 million. You're okay. You follow me? If you making 500,000, at least try to, if you making at least try to spend 400. At least try to, because you need the 100,000 to be working for you. See the whole thing about building wealth is you want to get your money to work for you. If you working for the man, the government, oh my God, I don't think about the government. Jesus Christ, how many people just get laid off or get fired? But if you working and you think you have a good job, wherever you making, it may be good, but you could do better. And it's certainly not your best. I want to say it again. Whatever you earning, whatever you doing, you could be doing good. But I promise you could be doing better.
But you got to ask, seek, and do. Knock.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about how do you build generational wealth. First of all, everybody that's listening to the sound and understand what I'm saying, everybody who can see me, you gotta set a plan minimum that you're going to contribute a certain amount of money monthly for the next 10 years, come rain or shine. You gotta 10 years is the minimum time it takes. 10 years. It really takes got a really good 15, 20 years to make a change. Now, I ain't telling you what I heard. I ain't telling you what I think. I'm not telling you what they said. I'm telling you what I know. So let's just say you're 50 years old. You got a good 15, 20 years to make a change in terms of generation. Let's say you're 60 years old. You got a good 15, 20 years to make a change. Let's say you're 70 years old. you got a good 10, 15, 20 years to really make a change. And even the older you are, when you decide to make that change, it might not be for you to get the fruit. You are the seed. The creator put it in your mind to be the seed. You're the seed for the generations to come behind you. You know, I've learned a lot of things over my 67 years. I really have. And the thing that I'm talking to Antonio about, Jasmine, Tempest, all five of my children, all Tavares, Hyacinth, my granddaughter, all the wisdom and understanding that I have and what I have learned, I pass it down to them. I tell them, don't be the rabbit, be the turtle. Be consistent. Don't be the rabbit, be the turtle. And don't break the universal laws. If you're getting money wrong, if you're doing scams, that ain't it. It ain't gonna end well for you. That's because the universe knows all. The creator knows all. In this game of life, you got to play right. You got to do it right. You got to be honest. You got to be loved. You got to share, and you got to do it right, man. You can't plant a crooked tree. The tree gonna be already crooked. It ain't gonna straighten up. You can't plant you got to plant an upright tree. Building wealth takes time. You have got to be able to put a certain amount of money. Now, if you put a certain amount of money away, I could tell you what it's going to be in 10 years. I can give you a good estimate what it's going to be in 15 or 20 years. But I tell you one thing, it's going to be far more than you can imagine. It really is. It really is. Everything that I have done in my past, I look 20 years back and I said, God, I'm so glad I did that. Had I known that was going to happen, I did not know that it was going to happen. Boy, but it took off. And I'm like, oh my God. If I would have known, I'd have sold my shirts, everything I own, and put it in there so I could have even more. I'd have walked around butt naked for a year and sold everything.
But Rob, now what you just said is so biblical. I was talking with someone, I think the book is, and I'm sure you read it as well, with Conwell, about Acres of Diamonds. And when you say put it away, first of all, when I was telling the story about Magic, he said when the guy told him about stock with Nike, he said, you didn't know what stock was. He said he just knew about money because he wasn't coming from a family that had taught him about money and about investing and all of that. What we have seen in many cases is we've just seen people, hey, get a job, go to work, hey, live for the weekend. Vacation during the summer, go back to work, get a paycheck, live for the weekend. And hey, so again, it's so important when you say put it away, Rob, help them to put it away.
Okay, so when I say put that extra away, there's places where you can put it where you don't have to take a whole lot of risk. One of the things that's easy to put away, I think, is cash value life insurance. Now, when I say cash value life insurance, I'm not saying cash value life insurance because you're going to die. But if you do die, at least what you didn't have a chance to put away automatically comes because they're going to give you a death benefit. But when I say life insurance, see, we don't look at buying life insurance just for burial. We don't. We look at life insurance because there is a window, a component, a part of life insurance where you can put a lot of money, you can save money. Minimum, it can grow at 5%. And as it's growing, it's like a Roth is a way where you don't never pay taxes. And since we know we all going to die, it's going to give even more money. But that's not why we put money into a cash value life insurance. We put it in there because, like I say, it compounds and it grows. It's safe. If we needed access, we can get it. We don't have to have a job. We don't have to have credit. So we put a lot in there. When you buy cash value life insurance, you don't say, what's the minimum I can save? You say, what's the most I can put in there? Anytime you make an investment, you don't say, what's the minimum I can save? You want to put what's the most I can put in there? And cash value life insurance is the only investment vehicle where the IRS says how much you can put in there. Isn't that something? Everything else, other than a Roth. So you know if a Roth IRA is good, you can put money in there, and when you take it out, you never pay taxes. The IRS government, they regulate that. It's no, you can only put so much in there because we need to get some money later on. If you put it in there, we ain't never get no money from you. Life insurance, cash value, they'll say if you want to put $100,000 in there a year, you got to have at least a certain amount of money, a certain amount of life insurance death benefit. But when you put it into a life insurance plan, when you invest into real estate, listen, when you invest in real estate, let me tell you one of the worst things that they tell you. Buying real estate, flipping it for a quick profit. Now, let me explain why I'm not down with that. I used to be when I was young, and I didn't know. I didn't have the vision when I was younger. I was quick money, quick money, quick money. But all the U.S. government tax law says anytime you make quick money, bam, they slam you. They charge you more taxes. Can you believe that? I don't care if it's stocks. I don't care if it's real estate. I don't care what it is. Our system and wealth building system, if you do anything that's quick, you pay more in taxes. The taxes are higher. If you do something and you wait for 1 year, the taxes is much lower. If you do something, the longer you wait, man, the taxes come insignificant. Real estate, if you buy real estate, you should buy real estate, especially if it's a rental property or even if it's vacant land. Don't flip it, because when you flip it, that's a short man game. Think about it. Anytime you're doing anything quick, whatever, what, tell me something that's just so quick, that's good. Ask a woman, did you see, is it quick, is good. Ask anything that's quick is good. Any quick, fast food is not the best thing for you. Anything that's quick, that's not long lasting. That's not good. You can't grow it. You can't have a child quick. Child don't grow up quick. Lord knows it take a long time to grow up. Anything good is not quick. James, can you think of anything quick, good, anything? Give me an example. Anybody, any audience.
I'm sorry. I can't come up with anything right now.
A quickie. Is that quickie good? I mean, but tell me, they're telling you can go ahead and be a nurse in 6 months. Is that how much can you take a course and they charge you $20,000 in 6 months? You're a professional nurse. Quick. Ooh, nurses will tell you it take longer than that to get really seasoned. Can anybody tell me? Come on, let's examine this quick stuff, because we talking about building wealth. Wealth comes slow. That's why they have long money. That's why the wealthy people have money that just keep on going. That's not quick. I gotta get y'all to understand this, man, because y'all too grown to still be talking about quick. When you talking about quick, that's a child's mentality. That's kids, because they haven't found out yet. But as you season, as you mature, you should take pleasure in things that are being cultivated. Things are maturing. Things are growing.
But Rob, most people find themselves, when they get the quick money, guess what they do? They don't plant it. They spend it.
Isn't that something?
Hey, grandmama leave me $20,000. Oh my goodness. Hey, I'm going to the DR. I'm going to Vegas. And say, whoa. That's why we want to seek and get wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That's why we want to reach out to the Henderson Financial Group and say, wait a minute, I have this, and forget about, as Robert has said earlier, forget about the amount, whatever it is that you have. I'm asking, what can I do with this that I have? As you say, Rob, there's a good, better, but there's also a best way too. And if we don't know what that is, we should seek it. We should seek the information of how can I? What opportunities may I have? Because there's so much out there that we don't know.
Yeah. I tell you, you say where to put it, James. I just talked about real estate. Real estate is it's really long. When you have these companies, someone come join, take this program, pay $5,000, $10,000, they're gonna tell you how to get rich quick in terms of real estate, how flipping, buying no money down. Let me tell you something. They didn't tell you about the tax consequences. And they don't tell you about all the problems and the headaches and stuff that you have. I've never found anything good that does not have a trade-off. And if y'all have it, y'all listening to me, anything that's good, number one, it's not quick because it has to be long lasting. Number two, if it's not quick, like I said, it takes a long time. Number two, there's always a trade-off. There's something that you have got to give up in order for it to be successful. Wow, good Lord, help me, Lord. I want to say it again. One, you should look for investments for building wealth that's not quick. Don't, no, no, no. If you go to a financial planner and they tell you they're gonna put you in some quick stuff, you shouldn't be there for that. Financial planning is for long term, 10 years, 15, 20 years. And if you plan on being alive, you in 10 years and 15 years, you want to see the fruits of it. So it has to be something that has to be seasoned and grown because it's going to be solid then. If it takes 10, 15, 20 years, baby, it's solid. It's like growing a tree. If it's been there for 20 years, them roots are deep, man. It's solid. Okay, so you can't be quick. Anytime you're trying to build wealth, it cannot be quick. That's the first thing. Anybody tell you about, hey, get rich quick, this scheme, you can do that, it's quick, don't do it. Okay, and the other one is, you always got to ask, what is the trade-off? Everything that's solid, that's good, has a trade-off. There's a discipline. Now, what I mean by trade-off? James, you want to tell them what I mean? You know, but trade-off. You have to, sometimes you have to go when you don't feel like going. Tell them, James, what's the trade-off in order to get it? James, you boy, James is a master in trade-off.
Hey, Rob, sometimes the trade-off is leaving your family for a period of time. Sometimes the trade-off is, oh, I don't have the answer right now, but I'm going to stick to this because I was speaking with a gentleman last evening at the dinner, and I said, you know, we don't think about what we have been taught and learned really deep. I said, because when Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego could have been kept from the fire, they were kept in the fire. So sometimes, Rob, we got to go through pains. We got to go through loss. You know, hey, like you said, hey, there's no great return, but you don't stop working. You don't stop building. You can't, you're not getting the fruit today. But that doesn't mean, hey, you dig up the plant. Rob, that means you water it. That means you keep the weeds from it. So and the trade-off can be some things for some people, Rob, when they want to be like you, they don't know the cost. They don't they don't know the hours that we're in. Hey, I didn't get back from Atlanta last evening until 2 a.m. in the morning. But Rob, I could have said, well, I'm gonna tell Rob I can't make 9 o'clock. Hey, when I finish here, hey, I'm about to drive an hour and a half. And hey, hey, I got to make some calls. Hey, I know it's Saturday, yes, there's a football game and all of that, but sometimes you've got to give up some of those things that you enjoy in order to build, in order to create. And always with me, man, I said, hey, ask, knock, and seek. I want to be around people who know more than I know. I want to be around people who can help me to help others. And Mr.
Yeah,
Henderson, you're such a person. So, hey, the sacrifice can be great. Well, we call it great because we're not doing the things that give us that little instant gratification, that little shot in there. Oh man, I feel good. Yeah. Hey, last night, my friend and I we were invited to go to, hey, there's a party, there's a, to the cigar. No. Hey, I've got something I've got to do. I've got to be back. I've got a 2-hour drive to get back. And then, hey, I'm going to get me some rest, and I'm going to get up the next day, and I'm going to start my day. What am I going to do today? So that trade-off can be a part of your becoming disciplined. You're asking, you're seeking, you're studying. And another part too, Rob, that I think missed on, the reason we get all that we can get is because we don't give from all that we have.
That's true.
We don't
James,
give from all that we have.
You made me think about, when you were just talking, I thought about an ex-NFL player, star player.
Mm-hmm.
2 years ago, a group of them called me. And they wanted my opinion. They said that they had came in to some contact with some people that said if they invest the money, they will get 10% a month return. So I said 10% a month. 10% a month, that means it's 12 months. That means that whatever you put in, you're going to make 120% return on your money. Now, if you're making 8%, 7%, 10%, that's pretty, that's okay. Because as long as you make at least 3% on your money, you are staying above water. In other words, you keep in time. You're growing with the economy. You're growing with the change of life. You're growing with the cost of living. That's what inflation is. As long as you are at least making 3% on your money. So they came to me and they said, this is a gentleman that guaranteed them at least 10% return per month, not per year. So I said, in other words, if you put $1 million in there, in 1 year, you're going to make an extra $1.2 million. I said, that's not possible. And they said, Mr. Henderson, how do you know? You didn't even hear the whole deal in details. I said, first of all, according to my formula,
okay,
it's quick. So I know it ain't good. It's quick. So I know it ain't good. Secondly, the trade-off. That's not a whole big trade-off, is it? I mean, you put $1 million in there. They said, no, you can put $100,000 in there. In 1 year, you're going to get 120,000 back plus your 100. I said, that don't make a lot of sense. And they said, why? Why do you say that, Mr. Henderson? You haven't heard the detail. I said, I don't have to hear the details because it's not natural. It's not. I said, first of all, we living in the great US of A, America. You know how much debt America is in? Do you know how much debt America? Trillions of dollars. Do you know how much money the government has to give poor people in terms of Section 8 and housing? That's a lot of money that the government taking care of. If there was a source where the government can come and invest in that same investment y'all talking about, don't you think the government would do that? If it was guaranteed? Do you think people will have money in banks and CDs? You think y'all the only one? No. And if that was that good, don't you think they'd have the lines to be lined up across the nation trying to get in there? People will be trying to get in there and get that guaranteed 10%. But they didn't listen to me, James.
I was going to ask Rob. Usually
they didn't listen to me.
Usually they don't, Rob.
Last week, the guy came to my office. He said he lost all their money there. He came to my office for me to start working with him. And he said he didn't listen. And he put $250,000 in there and he lost it all. And he asked me, how did I know? And I'm telling you, there's certain rules, universal rules and regulations. Anytime you're doing anything quick, that's not wealth. Wealth takes time. And that's why most people are not wealthy. Only 5% of people are wealthy. 95% of people you see in other words, when I say 95%, for every 100 people you see, 95% of them are not rich or wealthy. Only 5% of them. And let me tell you something. This data they've been taking this data, this 5%, for the last 200 years. They know exactly how many babies going to be born. They know exactly how many of them going to be rich and wealthy. They know it. It's a formula, and it has never failed. And they know because 95% of people follow the other 95 percenters and do what they do, and they all chasing nothing. They all chasing dreams. Do you know there is a whole industry? There's a whole marketing industry that cater to the 95% of the people who want to get rich quick. You can make a whole lot of money catering to the people who want to get something for nothing. You could make a lot of money. You just sell them dreams. They going for it because they don't want to deal with TIME. They don't want to deal with building wealth. They want it now. It's a whole lot of there's people that cater to them. It's like, like when you get ready to go to a sporting event, people selling hot dogs. They selling that because they know people want hot dogs and beer. So when they know that 95% of people don't want to plant the seed, they want an instant. So they say they want an instant.
And they come up with schemes.
They come up with schemes. We're going to take their money because they ain't going to listen to Henderson. I'm telling you.
Rob, with another one of the athletes that was on this reel that I saw, he too said that, hey, he had been offered opportunities of stock, right? And he said the only thing he thought about when the man said stock. Now these are, well, I started to say they were grown men, but they were young adults. He said the only thing that he knew about when the man mentioned stock in the company, in the company, he said he thought about livestock. you know, yeah, but he didn't stop to ask, okay, help me out. Explain to me about this stock situation. Or you can get a percent, and they won't call and say, well, now let me check on what you said, because I'm going to remember what you said to me that I'm investing in. And I'm going to look at, okay, who do I know that I could call and ask, is this a good deal? But one thing that the gentleman did, Rob, that I applaud him for, first of all, he admitted he made a mistake, and he came to get help. So a lot of times, Rob, we we don't we don't admit our error, and we don't seek help, and that's why I've spent time Henderson Financial Group. That's why I share with people, hey, information that I've received. And when they come to me and say, "But James T, I know you know," I said, "Yeah, no. Yes, I may know the answer to your question, but I want to send you to the person that's going to help you to plan. Because just getting the answer to the question, Rob, is not a good plan, because we
No,
need someone who's going to say, well, where are you? Can you afford to do what you're thinking about doing? Like you said, Rob, I can jump out. Well, I almost said I can jump out. Well, yeah, I can say it. I can jump out here on 75, Rob. And if I don't check my gas gauge, I could be on the side of the road.
that's
You
right.
know, now I knew where I wanted to go, but I didn't plan it. If and here in Georgia, when I get on the road, I hit 70 because everybody is after that money. They're sitting up on the bridge. They're hiding. I've never seen so many hiding police officers in my life. I mean, and every time you get to an exit, as we're talking about people getting that money, there's somebody waiting there with that radar thing saying, "Hey," or if you put that phone in your hand, no, 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 no. Hey, in Georgia, you can't have it in your hand. You can't have it in your lap. So there's all kinds of ways of people losing their money rather than using their money to say, not that I want to be rich or not that I want to be wealthy, but that I want to be in a position that if I see a person of need, I don't need to put it on a billboard. All I need
That's
to do
right.
is say, how can I help you?
You
And
know,
Rob, you do that all the time.
well, me and Tavares, the other day, we took a look back because sometimes we look at we look at portfolios and we'll look and see how well they've done. Here's a guy that in the year 2000, he put $2,500 and we put it into Apple.
Mm.
That was the year of the millennium. That was the year 2000. James, that same $2,500, that same $2,500 is worth $275,000 today. Y'all don't hear me. Now, how long did it take? It took 25 years, but we put it in Apple. You know how many times Apple done in 25 years, how much the stock done went up, split, gave you more shares, went back down, went up, split, gave you more shares in 25 years? That thing just compound and compound and compound. That is the example of planting a seed and not worrying about it. And I'm going to tell you something. That gentleman, every time it went up, he didn't say, "Oh Lord, sell." Because he only put in $2,500. He just left it alone. That's what that's like you planting, going in the backyard and you get some seeds and you plant a tree. You come back 20, 25 years later, you looking for that little old seed. And that tree is big. That is if you don't understand the way wealth is built, that is the way wealth is built. I'm telling you, that is the secret. But so many people, they want it right now.
Rob, the analogy you just gave, some people, when they plant the seed, they're gonna take a chair. They want to sit there
and watch it.
and come on, no, hey, when you put that away, you put it away, and you keep going and you keep growing. You know, I mean, hey, can you imagine? Even with the growth of his money, of his 2,500, hey, he didn't stop working to say,
No,
I'm gonna wait and see what this. No, I'm gonna keep moving. I'm gonna keep doing. I'm gonna keep growing. I'm gonna keep learning. And if he was really wise, I'm gonna keep planting too. I'm gonna get, hey, Rob, I tell him all the time. I'm not. Hey, I don't. Retirement. What is retire? Retire means you are tired. To me, you're tired, so you want to stop doing anything. Come on, Rob. Who does that? You know, hey, who does that?
I mean, here's a nurse, anesthesiologist. He worked for the hospital, and over his 30 years, his retirement account was $2 million. He brought the $2 million to me. We rolled it over. He said, "Robert, I wanted guaranteed money." He said, "I don't want to be in the stock market where it go up and down." He said, "I'm 62 years old." He says, "When I retire, I just want to have that check coming in the mail, direct deposit." So we rolled the $2 million. We put it into a fixed principal annuity. The annuity gonna pay him $200,000. So now he saved his over 30 years being in the hospital, an anesthetist. His retirement was $2 million. He didn't want to risk that $2 million. So we put it in something where he cannot worry. He don't have to worry about up and down or going under. He says, "How much can I get off this per year?" So we put it in a guaranteed fixed principal annuity. It pays this man $200,000 a year before he get out of bed. That's what he's getting. Okay, he getting 200, and he haven't even turned on this Social Security yet. His Social Security check, he's 62. If he stays alive for another 5 more years, he's going to be getting over $4,000 a month there. So he like, and being 62 years old, he's still young. Hell, I'm 67. You follow me? But guess what he did? He put it away. I'm telling you, man, that's generational wealth. And he took it out. He didn't leave it with the hospital because he's not married, meaning that if he died, they would have kept the pension money. So he took it out, and we created his own pension by putting it into a fixed annuity, which is an insurance company. They insured his money. So basically, it grows. And when he passes, if he lives another 40 years, 100, whatever, it's going to pay him as long as he lives. Now, let's say if he died tomorrow or died a year from now, he don't lose the $2 million. He has beneficiary, nieces and nephews, where the money will go to. Isn't that something? But I'm gonna tell you something. What is the whole nucleus of this whole thing? Time. Time. He put it away. He could have been spending all that money and having a good time. But he now in the 60s. So building wealth, we all can do it. I don't care if you a janitor. The point is, you have to plant seeds. We're all the farmers. We all. What are you planting? You either planting something or you planting nothing. James and I always planting. We listen. We got enough where we can eat today. We can eat tomorrow. But we planting on something that may not come to fruition for a couple years, 3 years. But we doing it right now because them 3 years for coming, they're gonna be ready to be served. That's the whole. That's the game.
And we got to work it. And you gotta work it. You can't. You gotta work it, Rob. You got to be willing. Like you said, what's the cost? What's the cost? There's gonna be a cost there.
The trade-off. That's right. It's gonna be a cost.
There's a trade-off. There's gonna be a trade-off.
Yeah.
You got to give up something, and sometimes you got to give up those little things that you enjoy, the sacrifice that you make, today, so that you can have, better tomorrow. And that tomorrow, like you said, could be 1 year, 2 years, could be, whatever. But at least I think that if you get the mindset that I'm gonna be renewed, be ye by the renewing of our minds. So it's thinking and calling the Henderson Financial Group, setting up an appointment, saying that, hey, I want to get started. This is where, and admitting where, another problem that some people have too, Rob, they don't want to admit where they are. They don't want to admit at 65, 70 years that, hey, like you said, I ate all my nuts. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
looking around for somebody else's nuts, huh?
Yeah, right. What do I do? But again, sometimes we don't know what we have until we ask someone. Because when you do that MRI, you'll say, well, wait a minute. What did you say this was? What do you have here? How do you take that you think is nothing and make it something? Oh my goodness, that's an awesome thought. He did that to me, folks. He did that to me. I know for some of you, you heard this before. He told me there was money in the walls. I think that was 1980, whatever it was.
That was in the 80s, yeah.
Yeah, there's money in the wall. I said, show me the wall so I could tear it down. And he showed me how I didn't have to tear down the wall, but how that I could get money from having that wall so that I could invest in investments that, hey, brought me a return.
Well, James, we talking, but in truth, this ain't for everybody. This really not for everybody. What we talking about, this ain't for everybody. Some people hear us, but they have ears, but they don't hear us. But let me tell you something. And I want all of y'all to hear what I'm about to say. And you can test yourself. James, how many people do you think that can choose to fast for 24 hours? What I mean by that, James, how many people out of 10 people, say half of them could do it. I want you to say 3 of them can only do it. Say only 2 of them can do it. If you told someone, listen, I want you to eat nothing. I just want you to drink water for 24 hours. How many people do you think will say, man, you crazy? I ain't doing that. And when we say this, it is much more than the food and the hunger. It is about you being the boss of your body, you being the boss of yourself. Now, listen, if you got high blood pressure, you can take your medication, you know. But I'm saying, if barring medical conditions, ask yourself, have you ever just want to see how strong mentally you are? You know, because all of this stuff that I'm talking about, you have to have the mental, the mind, the belief, the discipline, the commitment in order to do it. I'm going to say it again. The reason why James can do what he do, he understand commitment. He understand discipline. And when you understand, not just understanding, when you can demonstrate commitment, when you can demonstrate discipline, I promise you, there ain't nothing you can't do. I'm gonna say it again. I'm not talking about talking about it. I'm talking about when you can demonstrate, when you can do it. And I ain't talking about I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. No. James, answer the question. Out of 10 people, how many, if we say we want you all to do a mental fast for 24 hours, out of 10 people, how many you think could do it?
Well, first of all, Rob, they all can, but now how many would? So, Rob, I don't know that many people, you know, because I only know.
Norbik say 2. Somebody
Rob,
posted, Norbik said out of 10 people, 2 can.
I just say out of 10, maybe 1, but maybe none. Rob, really. I mean, because it does. We have been so trained, man. We have been so trained for others to feed us. Oh, man, Rob, we're not babies anymore. When are we going to? When are we going to wake up? You know, the event I was at last evening. You know, I saw some people, man, who were in high positions. I mean, they helped other people to become superstars. I mean, I'm talking about writers. As a matter of fact, I was sitting next to a gentleman, you know, who said that now he was doing, you know, writing and he was doing producing. But for years, what they did was they gave their gift to someone else's wealth. You know, and there's nothing wrong with working, you know, for someone or with someone or having a job, but for me, man, I want to encourage people to find something that you can do that would enhance you, that to seek that giftedness from within. I do believe, Rob, out of those 10 people, God has given every one of them a gift, and He's given them the strength to do, but they have to make the choice. And now they can fast for the 24 hours, but will they make the choice? That's what it comes down to. It comes down to being willing to make the choice.
Yeah, well, in order to build wealth, you have to. There are two prerequisites: commitment and discipline. You cannot build wealth without commitment and discipline because you'll spend it. So when I talked about fasting, that's you could do that within yourself. You first of all, you got to see that you have the mental capacity to do it. In other words, are you strong enough to make yourself do the things that you don't feel like doing? As soon as you can do that, then that you can go. In other words, if the creator says, I will make everybody wealthy if you can demonstrate commitment and discipline. And a lot of people say, I want to be wealthy, but I ain't getting ready to commit and I ain't ready to be disciplined. It's no way in the world, it's impossible for you to be all you could be without commitment and discipline. Now, I'm making when I said test yourself, because we all can do a self-examination. Can you stop drinking sodas for a week? Can you give up something that you like doing without being pressured by somebody else to do it? I mean, can you do it? Can you fix your own mind to do it? You say, I can if I want to. Well, I want to see you do it. Can you stop smoking for 30 days?
I was thinking that's exactly where I was going, Rob. Even though
People
you
say
know it'll hurt you.
it's killing you. And people say it's a habit. But who is the boss, the habit or you? Who thinks the thought? You are the thinker that think the thoughts. You could if you want to, but you'll never be all you could be until you can demonstrate that courage, that discipline, that commitment. It's nowhere in the world you could be all you could be without discipline and commitment. Those are, I'm just telling you, this you playing with yourself and you fooling yourself for a lifetime. And you're wondering why you ain't where you want to be. You have to be able to have discipline and commitment. And it's not what you can say it all you want to, but what have you done? I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. The creator always say, what have you done? What have you done, my son? You coming to asking me, begging me, what have you done? What have you done? What have you done? You just partied and had a good time. Hey, James, that's in the scriptures, right? What have you done? That's the 3 talents. Hey, the 3 talents. What have you done? What I blessed you with? How you ain't did nothing what I gave you. How you want more money? what I blessed you with, you ain't did nothing. Well, how you want more?
You spend everything you get, and now you're begging for.
Now you begging for more.
You're begging for more to spend more, not
to spend more,
to use more, not to increase what that I've given you. Right. It really is, man. It really is an opportunity.
You are, you're blessed with a job and you spending every dime and you eating out and shopping and doing that. And now you want more for what? It ain't coming to you. You're going to get it. They're going to go to the merchants, going to go to the restaurants, and it ain't for you. What you want? You want to give it? Hell, you just say, God, give it to me so I can give it to them.
Yeah. Rather than taking a 2-week vacation, why don't you just say, hey, I'm going to save my first 2 weeks. I'm going to just, cut out all the entertainment, da-da-da-da-da. Hey,
that's discipline.
Right, that discipline, right?
That's
and
discipline.
now I'm going to save, I'm going to save at least a week's salary every month. I'm gonna put that away, and then I'm gonna make a call. And I'm gonna say,
Commitment.
Mr. Henderson, hey, after those 52, after those 12 months, this is what I have. What can I do with this? And see what Robert is gonna do. He's gonna find out and let you know that you have more than you think you have.
That's right. That's
Because
right.
what that job has been doing, taking out of your paycheck, and you just think that you don't have access to that. I'm telling you, there's little things that when I've had family, friends, and everything say, "Well, wait, you mean to tell me I can do this, and I can use this, and that money, well, it's your money, but you didn't know because they didn't tell you that you could roll out, you know, and roll over, you know, and that you could find someone who would place that in something that would give you not just to save your money, but to give you a interest on your money,
Hey,
rather than waiting until you retire to get it.
I got a story for you. I tell you, everybody that listens to us don't hear us. They have ears, but they don't hear. A lady called me last week. She said, "Hey, somebody referred me to you." I said, "Okay, how can I help you?" She said, she got a house, and she said the house is paid off. She said she not. Hey, Jane. She said she not married. She not married, and she don't have no children. I say, she said, I want to get a will. I said, a will? Well, if you got a house and you want to get a will, you can get a will, but when you die, an attorney got to take it to court to give it to who you want to leave it to. She said, I want to leave it to my church. I said, well, why don't you just do a ladybird deed now or do a living trust? She said, no, why can't I just do a will? I said, because if you do a will and say that when you die, you're going to leave the house to the church, let's just say you die tomorrow. The will just say what you want to do. That's all. In order for it to get done and for the church to get it,
here comes the
judge. You have to go to probate. A judge have to approve it and stamp it and give it to the church. So that means it's going to cost. I said, here's a way. If you put it in the ladybird deed or put it into a living trust and you say that when you die, you don't have to go to no judge. You don't have to have no attorney. It just automatically goes to the church. James, do you know that lady could not? She said, well, let me think about it.
Okay. Well, that's a start. Rob, again, you said something she had not heard. And but do you know what she's going to do?
No, you know what she said?
She said,
no, know what she said?
What?
She said, if I just do a will, I said, it's going to cost you. She said, then after I'm dead, attorney got to go and take the will through court, and that's going to cost. She said, why should I care how much it's going to cost? I'm going to be dead. I say, well, you don't care how it's your money. You don't care. I said, you rather give your money to an attorney and give your money to the courts, people who you don't know. And right now, I'd rather you give that money to people you know, that you don't have to spend the money. So I'm saying that to say this. There's three kinds of people on the planet. Those who just see. They just automatically know. Those who see when they're told. And the last type of person is those who don't see. They ain't gonna see when you tell them. They just ain't gonna never. You could talk to you. You could talk to them till you blue in the face. They just not gonna get it. Now you gotta look in the mirror and say, which one of those out of those three are you? And be honest with yourself. Do you automatically see? Most of us fit into the category of when somebody tell us something, hip us or something, enlighten us, then we say, okay, I get it. Most of us, I would hope. But it's a lot of us, man, that you can talk to us until you blue in the face. You can show examples and they still don't know.
Rob, we out of time, bro.
Hey, man, say a prayer for us.
I'm not gonna argue with you this week about them people who ain't gonna ever know. Rob, let's hope. Let's keep hope alive. That those people that you say ain't gonna ever listen and they're never gonna change. Well, maybe we should pray for them. What do you think?
Yeah, pray for the people who just ain't gonna never know.
Okay.
Just go ahead. Let me hear that. I want to hear this prayer.
Father God, Lord Jesus, Holy Spirit, we thank you for this right now moment. And as the sun just came out, Rob, where I am, the sun just came from behind the clouds. We started praying. So maybe he's hearing us. We're going to pray for those, oh God. First of all, thanking you for all that you've done and all that you are going to do in our lives because it was created in the beginning. So here we ask you, oh God, to touch those who have need for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And that's us. We need more. No matter how much we know, there's so much more to know. But for those who refuse to adhere to seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, those who refuse to believe that you created us all for a purpose, those, as Robert say, that will hear the word and will never, ever decide that I'm going to trust those principles, those laws, and those precepts, open up their hearts and their minds that they would find someone to speak to them that would make them say, well, maybe I should change. Because you said that if we would renew our minds, that if we would be a blessing to others, that you would bless us. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. And the overflow is not for spillage, it's for us to bless others and get a bigger bucket. So we just ask that you bless everyone that's listening in the needs that they have so that they may be better and that you will be glorified in the deeds that we do. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen.
Amen. Let the church say amen. And Norvik say, just look to the Noah example. That's
Yeah.
what Norvik said.
So, what that you building, Noah?
What
You
are
building
you?
a
You
boat?
crazy?
A boat?
You
A
you
ark?
crazy, Noah? Noah,
Yeah.
Noah say, you see, you see.
Say rain. What's rain? We haven't had what is rain? Rain. It's gonna rain. No, it's not gonna rain.
Hey,
Sun's
we gotta
shining
go,
out
man.
here.
We gotta go,
All right.
man. James, thank you so much, man, for you being
Yeah.
out there in the country and
Ooh.
you tuning in.
Oh, Rob, it's hey. Every day it gets better every day.
Yeah.
There's a song that says every round goes higher and higher. Well, I'm just saying, Lord, send me, send me, send me.
All right. Listen, if any of you all are getting ready to retire, if you want to get your financial house in order, if you want to learn more about investments at the Henderson Financial Group, we can set you up a investment portfolio, whether it's stocks or bonds or mutual funds or ETF. We can educate you on that. We also do a lot of real estate. We can help you sell a property, buy a property, help you with tax strategies. And now we've been helping people who want to go into business get business loans in terms of equipment and finance. So we've been doing that also. If you want to understand annuities, if you want to understand just wills and trusts, what's the difference between a will and a trust, how to set that up, you can call our office at 305-825-1444. Or you can also go on our website and make an appointment, and it's the Henderson Financial Group. It's the HendersonFinancialGroup.com. We look forward to hearing from you and seeing you in the near future. Take care and spread the word. There's help. Don't say you didn't know. Nobody ain't tell you. All you gotta do is ask, seek, and knock. Much love to you. Be safe out there, because boy, the world is definitely changing. Ain't nothing you could do about it.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Get ready. Much love. Have a great,
Much
great
love.
weekend. Much love. Hey, James, ain't nothing you can do about it. That's like George Wallace say, huh? Hey, it's changing. The world is changing. Ain't nothing you can do about it.